Hello, everybody. Hello. Hashtag strong strength within the beef sector. Yes, all of this will be completely nice and polite. This is the lane for me, straight down the pathway of happiness, just being happy, walking in that lane and providing you with commentary that you can use and go along your day with what may have occurred within the beef sector. So, everybody, I would like to say the lives that I did look at since yesterday, and it was quite a few, but certain times we do have things to do, so we can't catch everyone's live when we may want to. But I did happen to see Five Apes live, as well as Miss Deidre and Melissa. I was able to watch their lives, and I was highly entertained. Entertained. All three ladies, I feel, gave pretty strong points, and they show strength as well as courage. When it comes to me and beefing, I'm very scared, and I will run. These ladies, they are no way whatsoever running anywhere but to their computers to do the latest commentary. So, it's going to be years on years, but I am learning inch by inch just how to strengthen myself and say, whoa, make commentary, okay, and continue. But these ladies provided me with things that I think you all would maybe want to touch up on when it comes to, what you want to know what may be going on within the sector. So, yes, I did watch 5-8, and it was talked about that somewhere around the lines, oh, excuse me, everybody, somewhere around the lines, something happened with Demetra Lit all day, in the form of she had commentary for Sean Bradley and his group of people. Apparently, Demetra had commentary directed towards the chat group that surrounds themselves with Sean Bradley, and Sean Bradley didn't like it. Apparently, he didn't care for the type of commentary, and it appears that the sector has issues with what Demetra may have had going on in her commentary. But I say, just go over there and see it for yourselves, and you take what you feel it to be. I feel as Demetra is one of my counterparts, so I am for Demetra's commentary and whatever she may provide. I did also watch Melissa's live yesterday, and she did continue to say that she had a good time at the boat cruise, which is wonderful. And it was also told within her live that she may know who the actual person is that went on the cruise to take pictures and get information for the beef sector. Melissa did state who that person was, and she said it towards the end of her commentary. And it was brought up in Mrs. Deidre's live, and the person's name was put out within Mrs. Deidre's live commentary, and they refer to this person as a mole. Yeah, so I feel like everything connected, and that's why I wanted to spread this amongst you all. These are some very key points, and it is brought upon by people that show strength, like they are working out in the gym, and they're only working, where they're actually working their muscles on providing beef sector entertainment, beefing entertainment, as they call it. I am only and simply here to give just a shed bit of word on the topics at hand. Yes. And I thought this would be a great time because my neighbors aren't home at the moment. So I just wanted to, shed some politeness amongst everybody, while I can, because, I don't want to be screaming and yelling when, neighbors are home. I'm good. So I just have to stay in that light. And when I end the live, it's just going to be fun. I'm just going to be happy because nothing occurred that would hurt. Rebel's son. What's up, Rebel? How are you doing, Rebel? It's great to see you. Yes, Rebel, I'm just good. I'm good, Rebel. And I just wanted to provide that bit of commentary. There's people out here, like you too, Rebel. I see, sometimes you can get out here and, really fight, you know. But now, I really know what my lane is. And it's just to, just shed just a tad bit, just a speck of light on what may be occurring. Yes, and I felt that, all three ladies, they, were looking quite well. I loved Miss Deidre's new avatar. I feel like it speaks volumes on, her queen character that she likes to portray. It was all golden. It really gave me, um, that form of her own vibe, but it just gave a speck of when Kwani back in the day had her avatar as like the queen Egyptian. It gave me that, but it was all Miss Deidre though. She still had every bit of her talent within what went on with her avatar. So I was all for it. Yes, and and Melissa was still shining with a little bit of the glow from, the trip, but she really shined with the live that she made prior to that one. It was just like she still had that after cruise glow. J Truth, hey baby, how are you doing? Rebel Son, you said I'd love to have a discussion on dating and relationships in general with you. Oh, really? Oh, cool. Okay, I'm down with it, Rebel. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, you know what, Rebel, and see, this would be the best time for it too, because I am all myself right now, Rebel. It's like all me, and that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to channel in on, just being me, and coming live and just being like, okay, I'm me, and giving it all I got. So yes, I'm excited for that, Rebel. I hope we can do it. Is this something on the lines of a panel? J Truth, you said I'm well, and you, dear, I'm doing quite well, darling. I'm just, I'm really staying in my lane, being, being true to my lane. And it's just, I know it's just going to be happiness. Like I hold on tight to this whenever I get scared or nervous. I just hold on. Hey, Egyptian goddess. Hey, baby. My boo. Oh, okay, Rebel Son, you said maybe with, Voodoo and another person. Cool, that'd be fun. Okay, Rebel. Yeah, you know what? I'll, I'm ready. Oh, thank you, J Truth. Yes, Jay, I'm really, just really staying in my true form, my rare form, and just trying to provide the commentary that I really think, is important, and we can just have fun with it. I hold on tight whenever I get nervous or feel the signs of pressure. I'ma just hold on to this. But Rebel, that's awesome. I can't wait. Oh, you saying Rodney too? Oh yes, I'm definitely for it, Rebel. We can have a good conversation. Yeah, because I remember one time we were talking about having this conversation, um, a little while ago. So yeah, it's definitely something that I was channeling, and while I'm definitely like at my best, and I'm gonna stay here. I want to stay on a path that is like eating oodles and noodles every day. I want to stay on that path because that's where you become a person that is con- what is it? Constant. Like oh shoot. Control, consistent. Yeah. That's when you become a person that is consistent, that just keeps on giving with strength and the courage to be who I am. I have to it's I have to read a letter every day. I have a letter to read every day, and it's just gonna help me. Egyptian goddess, oh that yes, hello to everybody. Oh, oh J Truth, you said I want to review a film with you. Let me know if you're up to it. Oh, okay, boo. Okay, yeah, we can maybe check that out. Oh, Rebel Son, you said I have to. You have to protect your energy. Yes, Rebel, at all cost. Because I see that a lot of times, your energy can really just be like glass, and it can break and shatter so quickly, and it's hard to build that back up. If you're not intact, and I feel a lot of times when we are in the midst of what we may call a versus or a high disagreement, that can lead to us not being in our comfort zone. And when you're not in your comfort zone, you're in a mix of trouble and you won't have that same talent and initiative to really face what a conflict is and just try to gather your thoughts and say, no, I need to be me and exert the situation for what it is. Because, see, I was so pressured on trying to prove myself to others and try to give what I felt people wanted. But once you look in deep, you'll see that what is really needed is who you are, because those people are going to be able to pick themselves back up and continue to move forward while I will be stuck and shattered, not knowing how to pick up the pieces. So this is what is going to continue to keep me bright. It really is. Oh, thank you, J Truth. Oh, you said, can you drop a link real quick? Sure. Yes, Rebel. Yes. Okay, I am highly engaged in this conversation. Let's see. All right. Yes, y'all. So I did want to give you that information on, what occurred. And, I think I'm going to be having a conversation with Rebel's son right now, as well as in the near future. And, it's going to be on something that we all, I feel, have, we've had dealings with, which is, relationships as well as dating, some more than others. Yeah. Yeah. And J Truth, I tell you, darling, that's something that I really had to look in and tell myself that every day, that I can let y'all know, just how I feel and just be real with it. Oh, here's my guy right here, y'all. S.
Hey, hey, what's up?
Hey
Can you
there,
hear me?
Rebelson. Yes, yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
Okay, I didn't know if it was because I had my ear piece on. I think that sometimes I watch in the bushes and Ro, I'm proud that you're on this positive path, and I commend you on that. And just stay the course. Don't let anyone take you off of that because there could be 10 people telling you all the things that you want to hear, but that one person that may say something negative, sometimes then it tends to stick out more. It could be 100 people saying something good about you. It's always that one voice that sticks out louder than all those 100 voices. Sometimes we let those take residence up in our minds, and that's not a good thing.
Absolutely, Rebel. I know what you mean. Because when we do let it, it will. I like, because I'll say, like, I was on a path, not recent, like, not too recent from this one, and I think I was doing good, and all of a sudden, it was that negative, that kind of came in, and it took it all away. And then I felt that I needed to once again try to prove myself, and that is not the way for me. And I know a lot of people over here, they know how to go about, in that manner of saying, well, I'm a stick out here, and I'm going to, be like a sore thumb, and I'm gonna just, I may have just got attacked, and I need some band-aids, some healing, but hey, I can bang with the most of them, and I can't say that that's something I can do. It's something that, yeah, I did feel that, like what Jay Truth has said, I may have did feel like I owe, people that the fight, but
Mm.
not knowing in myself that that's not something I'm capable of doing.
And do you want to dwell? This is the thing, because over in the sector, we have to be acutely aware that we can sometimes like to look at mess, but it's at someone else's expense because we're looking at them getting into it,
You
fighting with each
you
other,
said, is that somebody else's?
expense, because we find it entertaining. But once you put those
Oh,
shoes
oh,
on
Rebel.
yourself, am I going out?
Oh, you bet.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna. I may have to take the earpieces off because this is kind of spotty right now. I'm gonna take the
Okay,
earpiece out.
okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So, guys, I think Rebel's coming back in, but yeah, everybody, that's something that I have been feeling, and I think that this end result is going to be better for me, and just standing in the strength that I am capable of handling is the best solution. So yeah, I OJ Truth, you said I don't fight at all. Nothing will disturb my peace. Oh, see, that's absolutely awesome right there, J Truth. Okay.
Hey, okay, is
Rebel.
that better?
Yes, yeah, Rebel, that's very clear.
Okay, yeah, I had my earpiece on. I because I've watched, and you know what, we all go through the same thing at one time or another, Ro. And I say just don't let the negativity take residence in your mind. And sometimes you have to just keep it moving. And even when it comes to dating or uh, sometimes the waters are very there's a lot going on and just you definitely you can get caught up if you're not if you don't find solace in yourself. Sometimes you seek others validation through other people, and we got to be aware that you can't don't ever seek it through anyone else. Love yourself, date any relationship you're in. If you see something that's toxic, I say distance yourself away from it. Don't go into something thinking that when you're dating someone that hopefully they'll get better, or you know a friendship, maybe they'll say some things that are kind of unkind, and you look past it. Whereas sometimes people are frenemies to you. They'll be in your space, but they always come with something extra, and they may not mean you your best.
I definitely know, certain emotions with that. Um, and yeah, and that's why I think, Rebel, that a lot of times I don't give, certain relationships as well as friendships a chance, because I feel as though it's if you don't give it a chance, um, and you're stuck on what may have been a toxic kind of friendship or relationship that you may have been in, it can lead to you really, not kind of like not starting up something, and just going back in that mode of dating and just, making friends and keeping it 100. It can lead to, something that I always state is ghosting, and that's not something that I want to, participate in with people that are, potentially my friends. And I want to let, people know exactly where, we stand, and, how I feel. And I would hope they would do the same.
Now, as far as the ghosting, what is that? What does that the dating landscape look like for you, wherever you're at? How does that look? Are you actively
It's,
dating?
it's ground zero. No, I'm not.
So basically,
I'm,
getting yourself off.
oh, I guess if you want to take it there, yeah. Um,
I mean, well,
because, bro, I haven't.
I'm kidding. I'm playing. I'm just picking with you. Uh, but but you are open for, I think that I had to do that for myself, Ro, because sometimes we'll get out of something and we feel that we have like this void that we want to feel, and you'll jump back into something when you should have taken that time out for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't just start doing, hobbies or doing stuff. Have positive friends around you. You don't have to, sometimes, especially the time that we're going into now, Ro, is the time when people be like the loneliest if they're single, because of it going into the fall and winter, and also holidays that are coming up. Sometimes I've had friends that were down in the dumps because, they're single and it's Christmas. And I'm like, wait, hold up. You have family and you have friends that love you. Why are you down in the dumps? Because you can get in a relationship and be more miserable because you just wanted to be into something that you shouldn't have gotten into. And it should have been maybe a temporary distraction at best.
Oh, you said a temper, like, is that just like a casual thing you mean? When you say
Well, sometimes we make casual things into something more than what they should be.
oh,
Sometimes a person's good for a temporary distraction. They're not a person you want to build a future with. And let that be that. And I'm saying that to say I've seen people get into casual things and make them into something. They try to mold that into a relationship. You try to build a person to make them become what you want. And that's not, you end up getting the short end of the stick ultimately when you do that.
how do you feel when it comes to dating? Do you feel like you have a, how can I put it? Are you like, are you a casual dater? Hey there, self.
I think that I casually date, but I think that right now I prefer getting to know someone on a friendship level and see what that looks like, because you should be friends. You should be when you're interested in a person. A potential mate for me would be someone that I could laugh with, someone. It shouldn't always be so serious because I'm not dating someone that's interviewing me for a position. So you should be able to make me laugh. We should be able to just, you know, keep with each other. There's a difference between me laughing with my friends and someone I'm dating, of course, but I still think that just going out, sometimes I go out by myself. When y'all see, like, if I post pictures, you'll see me with friends, but sometimes I will go to the lounge by myself, like the karaoke lounge. I'll go there, have a cocktail, and I'm not much of a drinker. So I'll have like a margarita or a daiquiri or something like that. And people will come up and speak, or I'll speak. I'm not good at approaching people, I must admit. How are you with that?
Oh, well, I'm, you know what, Rebel? If you, I don't, I'm the type that I like if a conversation starts, I know how to handle it. Now, I don't think I am the strongest when it comes to approaching, but it's like how can I, like, it's like like a thing of the moment. This, if you kind of get my drift, like I'm like, it can, like, if it happens, I'll, I know how to handle it. I think like it's been a little while since I have had a, like, a moment where I was like in a social type gathering, and the conversation was there and provided, and I was in that instant engaged within it. I know I am capable of it. Sometimes though I do have, those jitters, and it's not as now that I think I really am in my own space of like saying, Ro, you gotta be you. I know that
Mhm.
it will be different, on the lines of I can just really give out my personality, because that's something that I feel a lot of times I will keep hitting, um, because especially when it comes to, to gay men. See, when it comes to gay men, I would have a fear, and I that's why I know I'm not in a relationship, as well as dating, because I still had like that fear.
Mm.
And that's something that I have been working on. Hey, Mrs. B Town,
Hey,
you
Miss
know,
Beatel.
because it's like now I'm really really just trying to stay in that mode of you got to be yourself and accept who you are, and I want to accept the people around me too, and but it's when people, when you see certain people, they'll look down, on us. I'm like, they'll look down on us because of our sexuality, and then like in when you're in an environment where that's mainly what a lot of people talk about is sex, and they down certain parts of gay this and gay this. They are down the gay community, and it's about sex, uh but it's gotten better, I have to say. It really has, over the years, but I still had that in the back. I still had all that stuff where, all I heard was bad talk about, who I feel, that I am. All I was hearing was
Now,
all
who
the
was this
stuff.
bad talk coming from?
The the environment, like
Okay.
because like you said, I think I was taking in too much of the negative. I was taking all of that negative in, and I was just like holding it like it was an anvil. And I'm like, this is what they would think of me if I were to just be, who I am around people that also can be their self. Because Rebel, I'm telling you, I had a friend of mine, all he would be was himself. Like he was gonna be who he is. He was very promiscuous, and I would just be like embarrassed, around him, because he would like whistle at whoever he thought he liked. He would just whistle. He would just say whatever, and then I never looked at him in a
Are you friends still?
I mean, yeah, I don't have any issues with him. I haven't seen him in a while because
Okay.
he left. He like he's in another state now. So yeah, we haven't really seen each other in a while. But that man has always been himself. Like, and now that I see I see him, like me just like kind of like looking at his image, I'm like, at least he knows who he is, and he is not afraid to give the world, hey, this me.
So,
So
have you not been able to really walk in your truth as a gay man? Or do you have, because judging by your accent, you are a Southerner. Am I correct? You don't have to say what state.
yeah, for the most part, yeah, yeah, I am pretty Southern. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
um,
because a lot of times people be kind of more, what's the word? Conservative when they're Southerners. But and the Southern, it's people rooted into church a lot of times, and the families hold that over your head, and fire and brimstone, eternal damnation for being gay, and you hear that all the time. My attitude to them is F them. And it had been like that for a long time, even with family. If family gave me issues about my sexuality, I'd tell them go straight to hell, and I wouldn't deal with them, because I'm not going to let you treat me like crap because you have a genetic connection with me. We're genetically connected. That doesn't mean I'm going to allow, because Hitler had family. Jeffrey Dahmer had family. Should they have let family? Should family have just been like, well, that's Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah, he does what he does, but that's still my brother. You can't, and those are extreme examples, but I say, don't let anyone, regardless to whatever familiar ties you have with them, don't allow them to darken who you are. Don't dim your light for someone else to shine. Because they'll talk about your sexuality. Meanwhile, they'll have kids, sons and daughters that have babies everywhere they lay their head at. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. You too grown. And I think you're probably like, what, me at 30?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there. I'm 37.
Oh, you're much older than me. But you're a few years young. Oh, we're in that kind of general, give or take a few years. But I think that, I came to that a long time ago, because, you can't be there for someone else when you're not there for yourself. When you're selling yourself short, how are you going to even be in a relationship with someone else when you still are incomplete?
When did Rebel? Do you remember when you came into who you were? Like came into who you are, and you like, hey, this is me, and nobody's going to change. What I identify with, and who I am, and how I treat people.
Well, Ro, I fell to the earth as a star, and I was always that person.
Oh, see, I tell you, Rebel, that's
Let me tell you. No, seriously, I I had girlfriends in junior high and high school, but I always knew I was who I am. And it wasn't, I didn't know what, in what form it was. I knew there was something always there, but it was hibernating and not awakened until, you start discovering your sexuality. And just, I knew then, how my declaration of coming out was going on Ricky Lake's show. And that was family cousins called from all over, calling my grandmother's house saying, oh my God, was that him on TV? It's like, you almost thought it was the Pope, because they were not, they were just calling. Everybody thought it was just, what? He on TV, girl, and they showed the rerun like 2 or 3 times. But
what was the topic?
Confronting an ex.
Oh, okay.
But the confronting the ex, it really wasn't me confronting an ex. Me and this guy, we both went to high school together. He grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same high school. He grew up in my neighborhood, and we would go to the same club sometimes, and we became cool with each other. And people used to always say we looked alike. One time, Jay Wilson was doing a show, and he was one of the people that called in, and I recognized his voice. And I was like, wait, hold up. I was like, T, is that you? I'm not going to say his name again, because I don't know if he changed it yet on here. I was like, don't put your real name on here. Get that off of here, because people will dox the hell out of you. But he came on, and I recognized his voice. And I said, are you in Houston? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. I said his name. And he right there in front of everybody on Jay's platform was like, this is the person that was on Ricky Lake with me. We laughed about that, but my family knew then. I hadn't when I got my first apartment. I had my first apartment when I was like 19. And when I got my first apartment, I wanted to be on the opposite side of the city from my family because I didn't want my family going to the store or just popping up saying, hey, I was in the neighborhood. Now, if I'm about 35, 40 minutes away, you're not going to be just popping up on me. But I got my apartment because I wanted to have independence. I wanted to live my life. And my family weren't. I didn't come from a family of Bible thumpers. I went to Bible school sometimes. I went to Bible school in the summer, but I didn't come from a strict, devout, religious family. Primarily, I would say they're Southern Baptists, but we didn't have to go to church unless we wanted to. If my grandmother went on a Sunday, we could go with her, but I remember cousins that were gay that weren't like outright harassed, but sometimes they were frowned upon, and it made me have a negative image about myself because if they're treating him, if I hear them talking about him, because they never talked directly to him because he would have cursed them out, but I would hear them talking about him, and I was like, oh, he acts like a girl sometimes. I don't, he's weird. And, I just kind of looked at him like as being an oddity until I became, an adult and we became close then.
Yeah.
I mean, what about your family? Are you supported or, I've heard you talk about certain things and you were kind of having some tumultuous times. It seemed like with maybe I don't know if it was family or friends that were giving you grief about your sexuality, perhaps. And this wasn't recently. I don't recall it being recent, but.
Yeah, not too recent. I'm going to tell you, Rebel, I don't talk to my family about like my sexuality. I never have. I barely.
So they don't know if you're a top or a bottom.
Huh?
Honda. I had a Honda Accord before. I had a Honda Civic. I'll bet you're roll. Listen, I got a little smart mouth at times, and it's not anything. Listen, I'll say some. My friends always mess with me because they say I don't have really I'm not watered down. Sometimes I just say what I want to say. Sometimes that's not always good, but it's all in fun. I'm just picking, but.
Yeah, say how you feel, Rebel. This is I'm telling you, I love that I love the free talk. Yes. I mean.
But you said, I'm sorry, you were saying you're not really talking to them at this time.
Yeah. I really am not. Like I haven't talked to family in quite a while, and I'm gonna say it's my fault because I have that part of me that isn't strong has taken work, and I just have like made that my life. Like I've just surrounded myself with work, and I have not always been that way, but it's like something turned in me, and that's why I don't know if you've seen a video where I call myself a workaholic, because that's all that is really like on my mind is working, because I'm running away, I feel, from family, like, and then that's where the ghosting comes in.
But
I don't know why.
No, but the thing is, you have to. I had at one point I distanced myself from family because of some other things going on that had nothing to do with sexuality. But I spoke a little up on it. It was about finding out, in our Black families, sometimes we have lies that persist for generations and generations. And I recently found out someone who I grew up with thinking was my father may not be my father. Kind of like the whole Kirk Franklin thing that he's going through with.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, I don't know if I wanted to document that because I came into a whole new family that just seeing my pictures and sometimes our mothers just weren't honest with us, and maybe their mothers weren't honest with them. In the Black families, a lot of times you could go 30, 40 years thinking someone was your father, and mama was out there doing. Our parents still had, they still did what they did. Like we do what we do, you know, they still were getting it in a lot of times. And, back then it was frowned upon. Now, you got Meg Thee Stallion, dancing on the hood of a car twerking. Our parents
Oh,
didn't come from that era, but I think that was something I was dealing with. And some family was upset at me for wanting to know that because it's almost like everything is so fine now. Why are you disrupting it? Don't question anything. This is just what mother told you. But our parents weren't always honest about everything. That grandma that used to tell you stories, sometimes those stories were a little added on to. And they weren't, everybody got that great great grandmother that was an Indian princess that may have just been someone that was white. It's like throughout my family argued me down about a great great grandmother. They said she was a white woman, and I'm looking at the woman, and she's clearly a person that's biracial, but I didn't think she was white. But then they said she was Indian. A lot of us as Black people, our that extra lightness that we had came from white, intermixing with white people.
oh yeah.
The Indian population wasn't as strong in us as the white gene that we've gotten. They just we didn't mix with Indians that freely just because we were both, under the boot of white people at one time. Black and Indian weren't having children at this astronomical rate.
Yeah. I have a little Indian actually, and I think I'm just like a tad bit Indian, a little mixture.
We got
I went
Indian, but it's not as a lot of times the Indian is not as prevalent in us as maybe some white genes that we may have. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
have you taken a DNA? This is a two question right here, Revel. Have you taken a DNA test, and also were you close with your mother, or
I
still are?
I got close. My mother passed away some years ago, but
Sorry to hear that.
thank you. I got closer with my mother as an adult. My mother battled with alcoholism for years, and it kind of it damaged our relationship for some years. But in her later years, we had gotten close. My mother, we got closer, and my mother, I could go sit with my mother. We would play dominoes and just laugh. And my mother loved when I had a partner. She would embrace my partner. She would ask about him more than me sometimes. And I came from that family. My brother was in a relationship for like 11 or 12 years with his partner. And people just don't know I have a gay brother. But my family was always very supportive of that. It was just when I get over here, even like on YouTube, and I see people want to fit in. I've never been that person that wanted to fit in. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered by people. I could be that person that like to sit down and read a book and be to myself sometimes. I don't want people in my personal space.
That's
Um,
awesome too, Rebel. I'm telling you that you like that is exactly like where I know I want to be too. It's not about fitting in. because you could be running into into the line of the followers, and you run there, and you don't know how much of like yourself is going to be just torn apart when you run. You like, oh,
Hmm.
let me run to the next following. Hold on, I gotta go to this following. And every time you run, you are falling down, hitting your head, and then you're not gonna know who you are in the end. So I know one thing about happiness, and it's about knowing exactly who you are. Now, I guess there's people out there that they want to be that type of person, where like, hey, I'm a follower, and they can still live in that. But I know with me, I have tried to go back and just like watch myself at times, and I'm like, you know what, I really think that I am going on the right path. Yes, I've had some bumps, bruises, and battles that have left me completely stumped and just like torn down to the grits. But I've always been able to try to pick myself back up, and
It,
that's a strength.
that is a strength, and I admire you for that, because the thing is, I think that when you have those quiet moments, and I know people, the beef sector, this and that, but we're all human, and things can affect you. And some people wake up every day with hell in them, bro. And that's just how they function. That's where they're content with functioning at a place like that. Whereas with you may be more of a person that's, has empathy, or you're very you could be very just aware, just sensitive to, you could be, if you have any sensitivity in you, the beef sector, you got to protect that coming into this sector, and you getting into it with people. Sometimes a person can say something and you'll carry that with you, and just, but that's what their goal was,
Yeah.
to carry that
Oh
baggage
no!
with you.
Oh, Rebel, you back? You back? Oh,
Was it,
yeah.
wait, did I go out?
Yeah, just for a tad minute. It was just like a look go out, and then you came back in. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
But
And I'm just talking. I'm looking at the monitor. Huh?
yeah. Oh, you know what, Rebel? No, but like to piggyback, like what you had said, I'm gonna tell you something that like had me in fear. You'll never believe it. Like it would have me in fear all the time over in the sector. I'm like, oh, I gotta hold on tight to something. When they be like, when you have a disagreement with somebody, and you feel a little bit of the heat, and people say, welcome to the beef sector. I'm like, oh my God. Like that thing, it used to terrify me every time they say that. They have, because I know, have somebody said that to you, you know, since you've been here, like they have said, like they were like, welcome to the beef sector. And it just terrifies me every time they say it,
Welcome to the, yeah, they said welcome to the beef sector, and this is what we do over here. And I think that's a bunch of BS, because you make excuses of being just a piss poor human. And you say, well, this is just the beef sector. This is what they do. So you really embrace being a piece of crap? You really embrace raining down on someone else's happiness? You embrace just, I don't wake up and think, okay, let me make your life less than whatever, let me come on and just let me bring some chaos into your life. Some people wake up with hell in them. The angry rants, the stuff that we think about it. Some of these people we watch, and they're always pissed off. Do you ever see them laugh? Do you ever see what fills them with joy? What in their life makes them happy? If you think about it, what in life makes them happy?
Rebel, I've been from the people that I watch, I look for the human in them, now like I really try to remember that. Cause like it's a lot of times I know I'll lose it. I'll forget something so quickly. And I'm like, this is the stuff, bro, that you don't need to be forgetting. And that's something that I feel is a sense of mine, is that I can sense the human in someone. And I just love that. I'm comfortable with it. And I notice that human in certain people, and I should know, like, sometimes you have to distance yourself from certain situations by taking it from the root. Somebody had just told me that. They said you got to take it from the root. Like you can't just break off a branch and feel like, oh, this can be olive. Here, take this olive branch. No, sometimes you got to take it all the way from the root and move forward. It's no looking back.
That's right.
Especially, when it's that way, when it's when you can't feel that, that human peace, that strength. Everybody, has it. And I know, being that, this is, the internet, but I know, in things without this camera, I feel the human. Or, where I go, I know where that human is. It was something in me that I'm like, I didn't have that human in me. It wasn't there. Like, it wasn't something that I was remembering.
When you say human, you meaning that inner person, that contentment, or what is it when you say that human in you? What does that mean?
Like that, how can I put it? Like that person that will jump in a burning building to save you.
Okay, I
know
got you.
That's going too deep with it, but
I get what you're saying.
yeah, it's just like a sense of being, where you can just feel it in people, and then for a while I
Of
felt,
giving a part of yourself to someone else, or just being able to reach out to people and show compassion.
yeah, and I felt that I could do it, but it didn't. I didn't feel that, like, when I'm looking at somebody else do it, when you see somebody else do it, it just looks so not made up. It just looked so genuine, so
Do
very
you think you're
genuine.
a good friend?
Huh?
Are you a good friend?
A good friend to others?
Yeah, that's do
Yeah.
you think, if you looked at Roe, honest Roe, I want you to be honest, Roe, that name. Uh, I want, do you really, if you just had to really say, what is it that I need to work on as a person? I know that I can be grudgeful. If you do something to me, I have a hard time forgiving people, and I will cut you off at the drop of a hat. If I detect some type of a BS, if I detect that you have done something that rubbed me the wrong way, the years ago I'd cut them off, ghost them, and keep it moving. Now I'm like, listen, this bothers me. When you do this, it irritates, and I have to be able to accept that type of someone giving me criticism. What do
Yeah.
I can be grudgeful? Sometimes I can be self-absorbed, and that's not a good thing. I think about, listen, I don't want to go over there with them. Like, if someone wanted to see me, my family, I'd be like, nah, I'll see y'all next week. I'm very much like that. My family will be like, we ain't seen you in 6 months. Like, yeah, I'll see y'all in a month or so. I'm just doing myself right now. And I had to kind of get out of that, because it kind of comes across, um, for people that love you, sometimes they just want to see you and they just want to be there. And I had to get out of, oh God. So I want to go sit up because I don't like this cousin too much. And I like that other cousin. I'm going to go see you, but I don't like your sister or your brother that much. But I will put myself out more and not be so, I could be self-absorbed. And that's just keeping it real.
Yeah, well, you know what, Rebel? I mean, I think I have a cousin like that too, though. That even I haven't seen him in a while either, but that's the way it seemed like he would be too. He would kind of go about his business, and they'd be like, "Hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Like, boy, where you been at?" And now, I feel like I'm the one that really has like just it's like distant. Really, it's been a while since I have taught the family, and then that can kind of take away, tear apart a piece of your human, because you have to have that flow, so at least you have it, I'm saying, on a certain level. At least you are, man enough, and you have the courage to, you say, well, I know it's been 6 months, it's been a while, but hey, at least I've seen you this year. And
yeah,
I have to just it has to be like you said, honest road. I have to look in deep and say, either it's do or die. Because it's getting to the point. It's like some of these people that I have not seen in years. It's if I'm going to be real about it, it's going to be at the funeral. The next time
so
that I see
tomorrow's
them,
not promised.
You said
Tomorrow's not promised. I said tomorrow's not promised, and I had to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sorry, you were saying something. Finish what you were saying, because I'd be sometimes going. I'd be like this beach. I'd be going and ranting sometimes. Uh, but I think that people do want to see you, and but to say my family irritated me, and I was like, I don't want to see them in 2023. This was my attitude with family at one point. I was like, I'll see them in 2024. I don't want to see them in 2023. Yeah, I need a break from some of them. And it wasn't like they would just do stuff that would make me say, I'm grown now. I don't have to put up with it because I'm an adult, fully functioning adult. And I protect my energy. If I feel you're taking my energy, I distance myself from you. I did that on YouTube with people. Don't lie and make up stuff because I won't deal with you.
I know exactly how. See, and see, that is something that I really want to put in my head too. That okay, let's weigh the outs and the ends. Of just how important is keeping about with this relationship, this friendship.
Mhm.
What is the importance in it, and is it something that can continue to grow? And I think a lot of times I don't even give it that step, because something may happen where I feel like, oh, it's time to ghost. Like, oh, the person I may feel overwhelmed, but that isn't how friendship goes. You can't continue to run and be like, oh no, being a ghost. I'm sick of being Casper.
Do you think, because what you said, that's funny, because I was telling my coworker, I think I'd be sleeping with a ghost sometimes.
Why you say that?
Well, I think I've been intimate with a ghost. I don't know what it's done to me, but I can feel my clothes kind of twisted when I've awakened. That's a story for another. That's probably like nightcap or something. But what do you think people have a general impression of you, Ro, when they meet you?
I think that they think, that they feel that I'm kind, and I really, I try to just really give it my all. A lot of people they call me Smiley when they first see me, and I I think I had to learn to mix it. I can't just give that whole happy go lucky positive if it's not real. I want to, even though a big piece of me just loves the fact of I'm human. I want to embrace that, and I do like to render out kindness to people, and and just a nice vibe, because I want to make people feel good, feel comfortable. But
Mm-hmm.
I want them to see who I am too, because people aren't going to respect you if they feel that you aren't being real. Like like I have a pretty good friend of mine that it's like I'd be like, he really knows me on a level of, okay, that's something that I'm trying to deal with. Like, okay, me overthinking. I overthink to the
Mm.
point where I hesitate in conversation. Sometimes I would overthink like that, and so that I can find the positive way to handle it. Or like, even when it's and people get mad at me for that, because they feel like they be like, well, no, you should have just handled it. You should have told that person off. And I'm like, no, I was trying to find a way, around it.
Oh yeah, you can't be impulsive, and you can't be someone that so give knee jerk reactions, because knee jerk reactions will have you locked up.
Yeah. And then and see, this the thing is, like, they know. I don't understand why I've had certain situations, Rebel, where I don't never need to give that type of reaction, because being a person that that just that may hold in a lot of that stuff, you hold it in, and you may have a blowout, and I do not want to have any more blowouts in life. I mean, yeah, it's going to happen every so often, where you may have a moment where you just kind of like lash out, but it's a way to control it. I want to have
Yeah.
full control over myself, over who I am, and not lash out because of me being gay. All of that. It when I have lashed out, all of those emotions were given out. Because I just felt in myself that I'm not being accepted, and you know um
Do you
I'm
think you're less than? Do you consider yourself less than or complete?
um I try to reach for the complete me. The complete me. I don't feel less than. I may feel weak at times, like scared. I will say I do feel scared
That's all
and
of
in
us.
fear sometimes. Yeah, but I no, I try to be my full person. Um I try my best to reach for, like, just to reach for me, but I don't remember though. A lot of times, see, that's where I lose myself at. If I'm around something that I could be interested in, or I'm like, okay, it's time to engage. For me not to lose, I'll say, the flow of that conversation or something, I'll kind of ease into the mode of, I guess you can say, a follower. Is that it? Because I kind of, I always want it to go right, but it's not always going to go right. You have to find a balance. And
Hmm.
people have told me that, people that, I find off of this app, have told me, and I'm like, dang, I gotta work on that, because it's like they see it, they like, look, it, basically, I feel like doing things to make others happy, but it's not always like that.
And
You know,
you can
you got
give so much. You can give so much of yourself, Ro, if you're not careful. You can spread yourself so thin that there's nothing left for you.
yeah, and then I how do you deal with conflict? Are you
I throw
comfortable with?
hands.
I've seen Rebel. I'm
No,
telling
I'm
you,
just kidding.
see,
I don't know. Listen, no. How do I deal with conflict is I have to be self-aware and go into the mode of, am I contributing to this conflict? What did I do something that's instigated this other person or whatever? But just being self-aware, cognizant of what you're doing. Conflict to me, I don't like conflict for myself, but I can be with it. If I get pushed into a corner, I will come out swinging. I was raised to not back down, but not to go looking for a fight. Don't bully anyone. Don't just mess with people that aren't bothering you. Now, if someone says something about me and you felt like you got away with it, I still may get you back 2 or 3 times later because I feel I didn't get you good enough. But just leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. But I notice that gets old roll real quick because constantly fighting with someone, constantly going back and forth, that will drain you.
but you know what? It doesn't even have to go to the point of a conflict. Like you can just have a simple, I would say, like a disagreement with somebody. And see, I think I'm in that place where people won't allow me to have that. Like it's like, oh, he gonna go off. Oh, he gonna go, like you can't, you like, I'd be like, well, you guys, that was maybe the old me, but this is the new me. And I want, if we're gonna have a, real anything, you have to give me the chance to be able to handle, something that may not be on the lines of a conflict, but just a little dilemma, and then, move according with that. But every time, something comes my way that may be in the form of, okay, that person may be in like a bad mood or something. It's like people are saying, oh, well, you can, like, I can't handle that, because of past experiences, where I may not have handled it so well. And
But I think, but that comes with being mature and living another day. I always strive to be a better person today than what I was yesterday. Uh, excuse me. But I think that when I tell you, Ro, the rebel of 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I would, I never, again, I never went looking for a fight, but I'm a fighter, but I am not, I'm educated. And I know that to have nice things, you can't be out there showing your behind and acting a fool. I wasn't raised like that, but I was raised, don't bother people. But if I feel that you're coming to me and I feel I'm in a corner, I'm going to come out swinging. And I know, like, even just on YouTube, some of the people that I have gotten into it with, the old me, seeing them would have walked right up to them and just started going in. And I knew, I'm not cool with, people talking about babies or, just a lot of that stuff. I just find it disgusting. But I wouldn't, if you said something, the younger me would have definitely been like, address, let's meet up, let's do this, what you want to do. But the person who I am now in a house have other things I've acquired. It's like, no, I'm not doing that with you. Now, if you put your hands on me, then we're gonna have it's gonna be a different discussion. But otherwise, I'll pay you dust. Keep it moving. Because when you constantly with drama, you'll stay at a place of not, you'll become stagnant.
And I love that too, Rebel, like about you. And it's more content creators as well that I see that in. That's mainly what, what y'all like, because I've heard you say that before, Rebel, in your commentary, where, you always say, look, it's on the lines of, as long as you don't put your hands on me, and y'all move on about, who you are as a content creator, who you are. I see people do that all the time. I know the content creators up here that go right on along about their business. Yeah, y'all may say this about, a certain individual whenever it's there, but y'all don't stay addicted on it or obsessed on it. I've seen it, and I know those exact content creators. They like, okay, like y'all a look. You know that look, Rebel, that you may give somebody when it's like, you're like, okay, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
They give it too much.
Even though, Ro, when you're meeting someone, like when Sean and Christian came and we spent some days together, we had a really good time because it was just us, organic friends. We developed a friendship, and it was just us chilling, talking. Not once did it go through my minds that, oh, these people are gonna dox me. They're gonna get my information. Because I never picked that up from either guy. They both are working people and have their own lives. But it was just us coming together, having a good time. It was just brotherhood, meeting other people from Club Chat that I've developed relationships with. And I thought it was a beautiful thing. It was nothing. It was so chill that, we're just sitting up watching movies. It was just that, going to a karaoke bar. And, Sean posted the pictures of the karaoke bar. And that night they were cutting up, showing their butts on stage. But it was all just that. You can have friends off of YouTube, though, Ro. You can have friends, but your friendships, any relationship, you can find someone that you'd possibly want to be with. But you have to be able to separate the two. My friendships are separate from YouTube ships. My friendships, so I can call you and talk about what's going on in my life, and you could do the same with me. That has nothing to do with YouTube.
Yeah.
What's
is
that you? Is that you over there cracking? What's that?
Oh, you know what? It's the AC unit from up top. It's drips rain every now and then.
It's dripping like that?
It drip.
Oh, I know you like the drip, don't you?
There's nothing wrong with a little drip every now and then,
Yeah, long as it's not an off yellow color. But I definitely, but Ro, even it was funny because when people come over to the house, they mess with me because they're like, Rebel, every room you got mirrors in all your rooms. Listen, I got door mirrors behind the doors. I got standing up mirrors. I have mirrors everywhere because you know what? When I get ready, I look at myself and I say this to anyone. You should always look at yourself and say, you a bad MF.
Yeah. Robert, I love your house. It's so pretty too. I love your the floor of your house.
Oh, thank you. I stayed in an apartment row. I had leased a house before with a roommate. And I loved being in the house. But we got a flood here. And we moved out of the house because the house flooded.
Oh no!
Yeah, we had to be evacuated.
So when did this happen?
This was like, oh my God! When our two floods we had made national news, we were on the news. This was maybe like about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years, about 6, 7 years ago.
Oh wow.
About six, because I've been in my house now for 2 years. Before that, uh, I was in an apartment. I moved from the apartment into my house, and I was in my apartment for 2 years, in my house for 2 years, and I stayed with my one of my good friends for some months in between the flooding. Um, so it's probably been about 6 years, about 5 or 6 years. But I I love
Okay.
every part of it, and but even just meeting
Yeah.
people,
See, y'all, I
moving.
tell you, certain times, like one day I can't wait, to be able to get me a house too. I think Rebel probably will come right back in. Yeah, I can't wait to get one, myself. And I have a friend right now that's actively telling me to get a house. Like they say that's the next step for me. They don't even want me to get, like another apartment. They say, "Ro, you need a house."
And that's the
Okay.
thing. It's just, if you're ready to get you a house, I say go for it. Do your research, and get something for you, something that you want. Don't try to get this big grandiose house to impress people. Get what you want for yourself.
Rebel, I'm gonna tell you this too, that like that this is a space that I definitely do want to get in. Um, within like a few years I want to develop, because see, I had a certain situation that happened where, Rubble, I was telling you, I was getting myself in order for like a house. Like I was, when it comes to like the finances, I was like, paying the bills. I was getting everything in order. Then I had something happen where it was on the lines of this was not a relationship with a person. It was a, I don't know. It was like I took my brain out of my head, and it was no brain there. It was just this substance that was giving. I was just giving, and then it
You
was like,
felt you were used.
yeah, that's the only way that I can say it. But I should have picked up who I was, like, say, as a man, and I should have put that brain back in my head, and I should have said no. But I don't know what came over me. It was just this, like, this was gone, and I was just doing this, and it should not have happened. It should have not happened, and that really tore. I think that is what really kind of tore me down.
How long was it that you guys were, whatever it was? How long did that go on?
Um, mm, I should know this because it was definitely over a a year. It had to be over a year. It was almost a whole year. Yeah. Before the person is gone, but that that tore me up though. That really messed me up, and I don't talk to people about it really. I really don't, because I certain people saw it for what it was. Like I had somebody come up to me and say, "Don't don't let him do that. Like, why are you letting him do that?" And then I couldn't answer them. Like it was just like,
What was it
I don't.
about him? What
This is the thing, Rebel. It was not a sexual attraction. It was it was fear. I'm not about to sit up here and lie to you. It was must have been fear. It was
fear?
fear
What?
that he would retaliate on me. on the level of he would, how they
But
say,
don't
like he
say
would
too
beat
much
me up
on
for my
here.
lunch money.
Don't go into too much on here because some people will take whatever. Just you're gone.
Y- Yeah, yeah. You know what, Rubble? I'm so strong right now, where it wouldn't matter what anybody would say. But you're right, though. You're right. I got to learn how to cut it off. Like, because we're like you said, I got to be mature about things too. So I got to be mature, and everything doesn't have to be said. You're right. I don't owe anybody anything but myself. I'm happy that I can talk to you about this, and I can just say that the person is like no longer there to put me back in that state. So, I'm that situation is over. Oh dang, y'all think Rebel dropped? He probably will come back, because we were really getting into a really good conversation. Everybody, and I haven't talked to many about this, but like I said, the strong points from the beginning of it, you have to build that spinal cord, and just keep going in that flow of life. I'm trying my best, now to just speak for myself. Sometimes you won't use what God gave you. You won't use your intellect. Everything will be taken away, and it can be from fear. You can come in contact with somebody that could be going through that's going through a dark place, and they're going to use you if they don't know any better. And I had to realize that I had to forgive myself as well as that person. I had to forgive them, because I know on some lines, even though I felt that they knew better, I had to still forgive them as well as myself. But I had to give myself the courage to say, no, that this is wrong. When that conscience is sitting right there next to you, and everything your conscience is like not adding up with what is like sitting in front of you, that's when you should follow through on your conscience. But I wasn't doing it. But Rebel's back, y'all. Rebel is back. Hey,
Hey,
Rebel.
okay. I had a bad connection. I was like, okay, let me walk over here because I'm still at work for about another 10 minutes. I'm trying to make myself stay. I could have left at 12, but I'm trying to get my overtime. But
Tell me about that overtime. Yes.
baby, okay, like who do you got to sleep with around here to get overtime? It's crazy. But
Yeah.
I think, but Ro, what were you saying the last part you were saying? Because I came in on the tail end.
Yeah. So I was saying okay, so that situation that I had found myself in, where I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
you were telling me how long did that persist?
it went on, Rebel, definitely it was over 7 months. It was over 7 or 8 months. I'm scared to say a year, but I'm gonna say a year.
But you were
Because
scared of the person retaliating against you. What? Because if you were to walk off?
yeah, I felt if I were to say no, it was first, you already know, I kind of have a challenge when it comes to the conflict. So I had the conflict, and then I didn't. They were in such a bad state that I really didn't know what they may do. Like I just felt like they would try to hurt me, maybe, even if it was just verbal.
And you know what? This is the thing. But Ro, this is for future reference. When you date someone, watch them in the beginning. Be a friend to them, or just casual. Don't make it into something. Don't be so keen on rushing into something, because before you know it, you'll be sleeping with the enemy, because you don't know the person outside of the representative that they send out, because people send their representatives. And I need to see you when you get pissed off. I'm not saying I'm going to be the reason that gets you pissed off, but I need to know, because you may get pissed off and punch TVs walking around the house. I need to know what is when you get really mad, and watch how they treat family and watch how they treat people that are service industry people. I always, when I go out with a guy, I watch how he treat wait staff, people that he feels are catering to us, people that are, into hospitality. You watch how they treat people that they would deem as being lower than them because they're doing something, they're doing a job for you that they're getting paid for. But some people have this thing that if you're in the service industry or someone that they feel is beneath them, they'll show you who they are. See them. Are they the kind of person that would be like, thank you? Or are they the kind of person that's constantly always complaining, and always, if they're belittling of people that are serving? Those are red flags. Watch that. Be careful. I don't care how good a person, and Ro, I can look at you and tell you probably get whooped real quick if somebody give it to you good. And I think that but I think that you just have to be aware that some things are not conducive for a positive relationship. I don't care if you see it in the beginning, Ro. If you get some warning signs, take a step back. If you see them doing something and you be like, wait, hold up.
Do you ever feel paralyzed? So, Rebel, do you ever feel like paralyzed though? Like your voice feels paralyzed when you are around something that you have to handle, where it's like, okay, dealing with yourself. See, that's why I know I have to mingle in things dealing with, what's inside of me when it's dealing with somebody else sitting, like right there. Because sometimes you just feel paralyzed. You can't speak, you can't say something that can be a situation, where you're talking about something. I used to could do it. I think after a while, like I had a conversation one time around, this was like one of my, one of my first lovers, I'll say. And I had a pretty firm conversation, and and I feel like we handled it, but it's always a little bit harder sometimes to deal with people that you may have built that intimacy with, right? Or but I, like you said, oh, I see what you mean though, when you said that's why I want to be friends with the person first, so that you will have a more comfortable scene. So you'll have a more comfortable space. Yeah, I said, yeah, like space, so that y'all, if y'all do need to talk, you'll be like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. Do you have the time right now? And it can lead to you really handling the situation, in a decent way. And I think that to go back to like that situation, that person was too lost, was way too dark. They wouldn't have been able to handle it. So I should have, I should have just went on, and whatever may have happened, I should have been like, you know what? I put my own self in even though this person may have took full advantage, I still put myself in the midst of this. Therefore, I may just need to handle it, and if it's consequences, so be it. Because sometimes, we put ourselves in situations where it's like you gotta rough it. You're like, hold on, I'm gonna have to just rough this. I know this isn't my character. I know this isn't usually how I handle how I handle situations, but so be it. I gotta push on. I gotta, yeah, how you say it, Trish? I gotta smash it. Hey, Trishy.
Oh, Trish is over there. Hey, Trish.
Yeah, I should have brought up my battle bat, Rebel. And just
'Cause I think now what? Okay, so was the person a little? Does the person that you were in this entanglement with was the person kind of rough around it? What was it about that made you feel it was something about the character? Were they confrontational more so? I guess they would have for you to feel kind of, you know, a little on edge. They may have been.
yeah, they were rough around the edges. They were pretty much in the era of, I'm gonna say fake gangster. Fake gangster. I'll say that they did go through some very dark moments though. They did. It was pretty extreme to an extent, and I felt like they would just lash out on me if I were to also be like the cause of them not getting what they want. Because it's like I've seen how they act when they don't get what they want. And I already felt like their stage of life was not going in the right direction. And that's when I should have looked into who I am, Rebel. I didn't though. I hid who I was, even more. And it didn't lead well, and then it started to drastically like affect me. I should have never did, the things that I did because, for this person,
Mm-hmm.
it was like really not good what I did. Like it was the wrong thing to do. I was not using my brain at all. Have you ever like been like, because I've ever had those moments where you were in situations where you didn't use your brain, maybe out of like fear and that like paralyzing moment. Oh, or Trish having her sexy, oh yeah, her crazy, sexy and cool fashion challenge, Rebel.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Are you going to be a part of it?
it's tonight. Is it tonight? I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all. I want to get some bad boy cologne, but I'm sorry though, Rebel. What so like what do you think about that though? Have you ever not used what God gave you? Like what your intellect? Oh yeah, have you ever put your intellect to the side in order to please somebody else?
If it was a temporary roll in the hay, you're stupid. I just want to sleep with you, nothing else. Go away now.
But see that and see that's what makes my situation so off the wall, because it wasn't any of that. Like I can really tell you, I didn't have no sexual desires towards that person. Not saying that oh, they're the most hideous. No, but it won't none of that though. It was none. I wasn't feeling that dumb. I wasn't like they were not my type, but I
But
was
you,
doing so much for them.
okay, now,
It was,
Ro, I don't usually ask this, but I do usually ask this. Um, were you intimate?
no, not at all. Nope. Mm-mm. But
Okay,
that's
so
the thing. I haven't. Um, I've had a couple of like a couple of relationships, because you know how the stereotype is when it comes to um you know the gay lifestyle. They think I like, it's so odd how they think you sleep with everybody that you be with. I've had a couple of relationships where it wasn't nothing intimate happened. One of them was quite uh was quite early on. Um and yeah, I can be with with a guy, and we don't engage because if you're trying to get to know somebody, that's not something that we jump into. Even I have friends that that's what they do is they just
Ro, have you had a
jump right
one
in.
night stand?
Huh?
Have you gotten your rocks off after one night with someone?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
Okay.
had one night stands. Yeah,
You know,
but
let's get past that first. So you're sexually uninhibited, but you are more of a relationship based person.
I I can't say that though, because I'm gonna tell you,
Okay.
Rebel, I can't wait until we get into our like maybe our conversation and dating and stuff,
Okay.
because I don't I can't even recall a relationship. Oh, y'all, Rebel dropped again. He'll be back. My baby Trish. What's up, Trish? Trish got a lot going on. Trish, I congrats to you, boo. I really did want to do it. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. I need to go see my barber, because men need to be fully groomed, and dang, and then I didn't get my my butter skin cream. I need to get that so I can put that right on. And whatever. I don't got no, excuse me, I don't have no suit or anything. I got a shirt, but I really wanted to get my bad boy cologne. And, look, I already done told the people what I was wearing. I mean, what cologne I was having.
Oh wait, bad boy. So wait, is that a summer or a winter scent? Because Ro, every cologne is not meant to be worn all year round.
Really, Rebels. I went in there. I went inside the store. Me and a friend of mine, we went, and we saw the bad boy. It was only the tester left, because it's the bad girl and it's the bad boy. It's, what color was it? I think it was gold. Oh yeah, because the bad girl got a heel. It got a heel. It got a heel that Trish can put on. No, let me stop.
Okay,
It got a
okay.
heel, and then the guy got the guys have a shoe. Have you smelled it yet?
I have not smelled bad boy. That's Puff Daddy's, right?
Yes, it smells so good, Rebel. And then they got the millionaire too. What?
I've had 1 million, the gold one.
Yeah, I like that one. Well,
So is
I
that your
love
go-to?
millionaire.
And let me tell you something. When you wear cologne, a little hack to make cologne last longer is get you, like, when you put in your lotion, or I would say, like, put a little Vaseline in certain little key areas and spray the cologne on the Vaseline, and it makes it last longer.
Spray the cologne on the Vaseline.
The
Okay.
Vaseline will absorb the cologne, but it won't. It makes it last longer because of the Vaseline's consistency. The cologne sticks to the Vaseline, and the Vaseline makes it stay longer than it being absorbed or dissipating off of your body.
Oh, okay now. Yeah, Rob, I'm gonna definitely check that out the next time. It's been forever since I worn some cologne, actually. But
What do you
it
wear?
smells so
Just
good.
so you're just a deodorant type of guy, huh?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, for the most part, it's just been deodorant.
What do you do? Like, if you, I think people don't really date as much, but if you went out with a guy, would you go buy some cologne or you just say, I'm fresh, I'm good?
See that move. See, that's right. That's it
Or
right
you
there,
spray
Rebel.
some Axe body spray on, Ro? Do you spray Axe body spray on?
I haven't been on a date.
Okay.
No, I had a gift of some Axe body spray, and I never even used it. Yeah, I
But
never
it's
used
good
it.
for work. I may spray something on like that if I'm not wanting. Is I wear Yves Saint Laurent, YSL, and I wear Tom Ford. But I like 1 Million and I like Sauvage. Dior is pretty good, but
Oh,
uh,
Dior.
the Bad Boy, I remember it, but I thought it was maybe like in a black bottle or something.
Mm.
Is it?
I think it was like it was yeah, the one that I tried, it was in a black bottle. It was because it was just a tester left.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what, Rebel? I'm gonna tell you, I see that's why I really have to focus in. I guess on a level I felt that I wasn't masculine enough for cologne. Maybe that's it. Like that's it. I really.
Wait, hold on. What you thought you weren't masculine? What did you put on some peonies or some sweet pea or something? What would you use is to spray on some lilac?
I never used anything. It was just I used to have the Old Spice
Oh God, Ro, don't say that.
the Old Spice deodorant, but I stopped using that when I
Oh,
started
okay.
breaking out.
Okay.
All I use is Degree.
I like Degree. I wear Degree and I wear Dove for men. Um, it's another one that's I think I may be wearing Old Spice now because they have like I like when they come out with like the kind of seasonal stuff that they don't come out with all the time. So I think this is Amber that I'm wearing today.
So you mean to tell me I could have been enticing them? This is why I could have been enticing the men, right, Rebel? See, look at that. I done missed out on opportunities. See, I always miss out on opportunities. I should have been putting that cologne on.
Some colognes have pheromones in them.
Yeah, they stated it makes them come to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. I have been giving myself a disservice, Rebel.
Oh, yes. You've been doing yourself a terrible injustice. And I think that, but as far as this guy that you had put up with, you weren't intimate. You were just friends with the person and you were afraid to break off the friendship? Or was it not a friendship? It was based upon what you could do for the person.
It was way more based on what I could do for them. Yes, it was like I can't call it a friendship on neither of our levels. It was what I was doing for them, and it went on from there. It went on from me being a nice person to just flat out getting used and not speaking up for myself to say, hold on, it cannot go down like this.
Are you an only child?
Right now.
Are you an only child?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And but you know what? See, I want to see. I think I'm maybe getting a little bit too deep. I still do want to take a DNA. When I asked you earlier, I do want to take a DNA kit test or something so I can see maybe the whereabouts of my father to maybe see if I do have any more siblings.
I always recommend, for yourself, if because sometimes we don't feel complete until we know just where we came from. You want to know, hell, you don't want to go to a club, hell, and meet one of your brothers and end up sleeping with them.
Yeah, you know, you better say it.
Long night.
Yeah, but I mean, I definitely would rebel because it's just it's always like I being that I had been an only child so long, I hear people that's be like, oh, having this sister, a brother, I can't stand them, or they have tits and taps with their sisters or brothers, but I just know that I feel like I would have somebody that I could just unite with, and just knowing that it's somebody of uh, a certain type of attachment, and it's like that's my brother, that's my sister, and I think that would help me to build a closer relationship to family. Because when you're the only child, they make it seem like, especially when you lose people, that you kind of like they make it seem like you're kind of helpless. Like, oh, that's just how they put it. Oh, Rose been through a lot. They'll say that Rose been through this, so that's maybe why Rose is distant, or they always give you an excuse, and it's like, no, I don't. It's like y'all giving me an excuse because of what I may have been through, and people are still, y'all still have y'all main people that that make
Yeah,
up a family.
and I get that what you're saying as far as because with me coming from a bigger family with a lot of siblings on both sides, I was always fighting to get my own space and not be. I always felt like I was just compressed, very just smothered. And I think with you being an only child, you probably gravitate toward people because you like to deal with people. Being an only child, you have always probably craved for that. How tall are you? You look, you're about 4'11".
4'11". No, actually, I'm about 5'8", 5'7".
Okay.
Hmm.
Because on your picture, I would have thought that you were like a pocket gay.
you thought you could put me right in your pocket, Rebel?
A little pocket gay,
Little bit of height.
a little convenient little travel size gay person that you could put in your luggage and take out of town. No, I didn't know. It's funny because you don't know how you and I are about the same height, actually.
Well, what are you like 5? Are you 6 feet or are you 5'9" or you look?
No, I'm only 5'7".
Oh, okay now.
5'7",
Yeah.
29 waist. You better catch it. 29
Oh,
waist.
Rebel, now that waist, these waists have been getting folks. They said they've been ready to read for waists lately because they can't take. They said they can't take,
Let's have
so
a
they are
small
ready.
waist cat. Let's have a small waist challenge. Who can put some skinny jeans on and actually walk? No, but
That would be really good though, Rebel.
listen, the last time I put on some skinny jeans, my legs look like some little Cornish game hen drumettes. I'm not doing that again. No, I'm not. Yeah, look at my legs. Should have been put on a little stick and thrown in some foil. I can't. I'm not gonna do that to myself again. Now, I will slim cut. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not wearing skinny because
But Rebel, you got a booty though, so you got something to shake. I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get to without surgery.
just eat you some college greens and chitterlings, some college greens, some poke bones, ham hocks, some
Oh,
greens, and do some
oh,
squats.
do some. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get on my squats. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to get on the collard greens. Okay, yeah.
How much do you
Actually,
weigh,
no.
Ro?
You said what now?
How much?
Oh,
From just looking, I say you weigh probably about 145, 150.
I wish, Rebel. I'm at what 137, 136. I want to
Oh,
gain that weight.
I'm a little weight. I weigh more than you then, because I'm like I weigh 146.
Oh yes, you got some more meat on your bones. Okay, now.
I
See, I'm
think my cakes alone are probably about 90 pounds. But
oh, you got to balance it like this.
these cakes be too much sometimes. I could stop weighing them. That's it. Ro, stop it, Ro. You're salivating. But no, but I just definitely wrote. Listen, I have to go. I've had a good time over here cutting up with you. We need to
Yes.
definitely do a panel on dating and just, what's the landscape like? Because most of us single guys, we're single, and we're all, how do we navigate this? Dating and, do we limit ourselves? Do we only date? Like black women to say, they only date their brothers. And are you one of those gay men that say you only date black men? Because I've dated other races.
You know what, Rebel, as I have gotten like older and more in tune with myself, no, I wouldn't just put myself on one race, because I've seen good in quite a many races. And I've seen the person inside of in people. So I
Hmm.
can just take a person, and it won't be about their color. If that's something that I'm interested in, I like, I wouldn't mind, starting something anew. And I've seen it in all different colors.
Do you like when you see? Because for me, when I see couples, I always smile when I see gay couples, and because I know what that, as a child, as a younger gay person, we didn't have people that we looked at and saw what a relationship for us would look like, a healthy relationship. As far as you wanting, I've always, when I first started going out to gay clubs, I went to a white gay club. So a lot of times white guys approached me because I was in their environment. I've always been more attracted to people that look like me, other black men. But I dated a white person for a few years. I was in a relationship with a black guy for like 6 or 7 years. Um,
Hmm.
I primarily dated black, but I have had white and Hispanic boyfriends.
It's mainly been black for me. Um I've been, was it one? I think I've only been with one. Oh no, I'm sorry. Um two guys outside my race. Yeah, two, I'll say two white guys. But yeah, other than that, we definitely have to talk about this form of dating, because I've been on a shoot. Yes, you know what? I've been on a couple of dates. I have. Yeah, I want to tell y'all about those. Yeah, I have been on a couple of dates.
Now you just
I
came to this. You just came to this realization that they were dates.
yeah,
Okay.
because you know what, bro? Because sometimes you get together, and it's one of those moments,
And wanted to get together, and after you know it, your
reunited,
clothes
and it
come off.
feels so good, huh?
I said, after you know it, you want to get another car.
Another car, yeah. You know, but I just wish I should have gave.
Just suck them off.
You said what now?
I said, did you
Rebel, I
work it
should have
out?
gave.
I said, did you work it out?
Yeah, yes, yes, we did. But you know what? I'm going back into that way I was telling you. I've had dates though where it was it was set up just like a date. It was a typical date. Yeah, like it was the you do what you do your thing, and
What's that? What is do your thing? You got your rocks off, roll. Say what it was. You get off, roll.
Not on this one, Rebel.
Okay.
It was a love. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, it was a good experience. It really was. It was a
Maybe
date.
you should. So would you revisit that with that person again?
I have. It's been a long time. That was a while back. That date.
Okay.
And okay. This is the thing. The kiss won't right. It was something that happened with the kiss because you know how they didn't have like a tic tac or something. So
okay, I got you. Yeah, I've been caught up with that.
Yeah, and then it kind of it ruins it. You be like, oh, how I could have, because you weren't thinking about the kiss, what the kiss was about.
This guy tried to kiss me. He wanted to Netflix and chill. Of course, I was like, okay, here we go. Netflix and chill. You know what that is code for. But I was like, we're not doing this. So he said, can I, I chilled with him. He said, could he have a kiss? When I looked at his mouth, I felt like I was looking into the mouth of like a hippopotamus or something because he had like 2 or 3 teeth in his mouth.
Oh, no.
Now, keep in mind, he was able to get me like this because this is during the time of what's going on. So he had a face mask on for some of the time that we were talking. But when we got into that type of an intimate setting that we're going to be at your house chilling, and when I saw them teeth, not Teeth, but Teefs, and I was like, oh,
he was giving
it looked like he had tusk. It looked like he had tusk. And I was like, just.
But that could have had led to something wonderful.
Of course.
The teeth, right?
Yeah, of course, Ro. It could have, but he's trying to kiss. I'm not trying to. Your mouth look funky. I don't know. And I had to tell him, like, when he got close, I said, no, I can't do that because I had ate something with onions.
You know what, Rebel? No,
I always go to them damn onions.
You should have told him, look, you should have gave him the no tongue. You could just lips.
I didn't want our lips to touch.
You didn't want.
I didn't want our mouth to touch because he would have probably tried to slip that little tongue out, and then some of them juices from the mouth would have went into my. I couldn't.
You should let him just kiss you on the.
And I wouldn't even let him munch on my cooter because he may give you gingivitis down there. But okay.
Bravo, this has been quite a conversation.
It has been quite entertaining. I don't know what you would call it, but whatever it's been like. But no, I gotta go as well. But yeah, Ro, we definitely hit my email, Ro. Hit the email. Please don't send me a peen pic. Just send me your information.
Okay, Rebel, I sure will. Yeah, because we gotta get this together. This is gonna be great.
I do think so. Do you ever have conversations with Rodney or Voodoo?
No, I haven't had any conversations with Voodoo or Rodney like that. I've talked to them in chats before, but yeah, I would love to have a conversation with them. Yeah, but because I'm pretty comfortable with Rodney and Voodoo. I haven't talked to Voodoo in a little while, but yeah, we can.
And all of us
try to engage that.
And we're from the all age demographic as well, except y'all are probably. You said you're 37, though, right?
Yeah, Rebel. Yeah,
like when you were in junior high, I was probably like in 1st or 2nd grade.
Oh, so you were a youngster. You were too young for me there.
I would have been a little young. These little old fat little thighs would have been trying to keep up with you and your older friends. Like, just.
So you were younger trying to fit in. You were coming to our parties.
I would be fitting in. I'd be like, Bro, come here, come hold me like you pick me up and just probably sit me on your lap.
Rebel, I tell you, see
Look at go, go.
those young times haven't left you yet either.
Oh, the little young time. They used to get me in trouble. They practically called me a hoe in grade school. And just I wasn't that person. Yes, I like to play mamas and daddies, but it wasn't anything under the clothes. Didn't you like play? Didn't you play? Well, you were the only child, but did you play mamas and daddies with your friends or hide and go get it?
um. Oh, mama and daddy. No, you know what?
I was mamas and dad. I was always the other daddy on the side or the extra. I was always a side piece for some reason. They never made me the main one back then until I became an adult. And these cakes got bigger, and that's when everybody wanted you to be the other daddy then. Um,
See, having them cakes, that's what I wanted, Rebel. See, I would have been
that
treated
changed the
a
game
lot
up, bro.
better.
It changed the game, and no pun intended. I hadn't looked back ever since. Um, well, no, I actually always look back ever since.
Oh, you gotta make sure it's right now. You gotta keep looking back.
That's right. That's right. Ro, you better be careful. I'll be taking your Google AdSense check. Keep playing with me. I'm just playing. Let's roll, but no, hit my email and we will go from there. We definitely need to have a discussion, and I think it'll be cool.
Okay, Rebel, I am down for it. Definitely. That's gonna be highly something I can't wait for.
But yes, but definitely send the email so I can hit you up with the StreamYard link and everything.
Okay. Okay, I
All
sure
right.
will, Rebel. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, you too. All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, that was an awesome talk with Rebel Son. Yes, you know what? That was a little bit of an interview, you guys. I wanted, y'all know I was hoping to do an interview with someone, but I'm so happy Rebel opened up just a lot more of like my strong suits. I gotta remember, like y'all been telling myself, I gotta keep remembering things, especially on the level of, just doing things for me. And I still want to have that heart, that heart of gold, and still help people, but I got to keep my brain intact as I move forward. And I got to, look at the person and say, hey, can I talk to you? And if they don't want to give me the time of day just to talk to me, then it's just going to have to be what it's going to have to be. And it's going to have to maybe lead to a consequence. That's how life works, everyone. And we got to live it in the rough and in the times of joy. It's a balance, everybody. Yes, it is. Well, I thank y'all so much for joining me. Please go and check out my boo, everybody, Shish Trish, for her crazy, sexy, cool fashion challenge that will be tonight at 9 p.m. Please show Trish some love. And if you are able to participate, please do. And bring your best cologne forward or perfume and just show off your fashions. I would if I could, but you guys, I'm just not ready. And I don't have any cologne at the moment. Okay, I am not ready for the fashions, but I wish I was because I know Trish is going to be highly entertaining. But guys, I shall talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking with you. Oh yeah, and Trader Lane did post the challenge. That challenge. I was in a challenge, y'all. Yes. So yes, everyone. I hope y'all got my points out today, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'll be talking with y'all soon. All right, now, Honest Row signing out. Bye, y'all.